somebody pays you a salary or wages, they are medicine to manage poverty. It doesn't cure poverty. What cures poverty is business and investment. That is why it is extremely important that all of us, whatever we do, we should not become solid headed that we are earning income. No, there are two major reasons why you cannot depend on your salary for economic survival. The first reason is that when you are working, all you are doing is that you are selling your time and effort to somebody, and the person pays you for selling your time and effort. When your effort ceases, your income ceases. When you do not have time to sell, sometimes at the Ghana, the law says that after 60 years, you can no longer work. And so what happens? It means your effort has ceased, even though you may have time to sell. And then when you retire, you cannot be quit your job to survive a family member. I've worked with the Ghana Revenue Authority for 20 years. When I'm due for retirement, I cannot be quit my position to a wife, a child, or a cousin. The best thing that will happen to me is that they will give me a citation indicating that I also play my role at that noble institution. And if I'm lucky, I'll be given the visa. That's the end. And from that day, government will not pay you again. Your only source of income will be from Senate. And Senate will give you a 1/2 of your basic. So assuming today you are earning 2,000, 1,000 cedis basic, 1,000 cedis allowances, Senate will give you half of your basic, which is 500 Ghanaian cedis. Even when you were earning 2,000, it was not enough for you. Now that you are earning just about 1/4 of what you used to earn, no bank will give you a loan because banks are not for the Christmas to give loans to pensioners. So it becomes a challenge. If because of education, you could not give birth to children early and you still have about 3 or 4 children in school. If care is not taken, you may not be responsible enough to take care of all the children. Opportunity that your mother and father that did not have access to education were able to offer you in this modern way, you may not be able to offer to your children. And so you see, sometimes it's very painful seeing once well-respected educationists struggling with SS students to get a space to teach in private school because what they are earning in a month is not enough for them. On this basis, it's important that today we should be able to activate multiple streams of income so that at that difficult time, things will not become difficult. So there's a legitimate question for us to ask ourselves this morning. The question is that, do you want to create the future that you want? Or you want to take anything that comes up after retirement? No. The fact that you are a participant of this conference means that you are somebody who wants to take your destiny into your own hands and make sure that something significant comes from the work that you are doing. The second reason that I want to offer that you cannot rely on your salary alone for your survival is that in Ghana, average income is 1,500, especially among teachers, 1,500 a month. Assuming you are 40 years and you have just 20 years to retire, and you earn 1,500, it means that every year you are going to earn 18,000. 15,005 times 12, 18,000. For the next 20 years, we're going to have 360,000. Let's further assume that you are not going to spend anything from it, which is a possibility that does not exist. Anything from it, for the rest of the 20 years, we are going to have 360,000. 360,000 cannot even buy a dream house, a dream car. In certain part of Accra in Kumasi, you cannot even buy a land. Okay? So because of this, it's important for you to find something to do. And what can you do? A business. There are many people who have the strongest desire to run business, but they don't know how to go about it. The starting point of doing business is ability to identify problems in society. There are many problems that society are looking for solutions. So once you can match your resources to those particular problems, you should be able to have a business. So the starting point of everything is ability to identify a problem. The purpose of business is to solve a problem, and society will reward you for solving that particular problem. So let's take the stages. The first thing is identification of a problem. How can you identify a problem in society? You can do that by making sure that you're a good listener. You listen to radio stations. As you listen to radio stations, you hear many people complaining bitterly about particular problems that society are finding difficult to get a solution. If you watch television, you can also have experience. And also even listening to your immediate environment, you see that there's a particular problem that everybody is complaining. You may be a teacher in one village, in a certain part of the town. Maybe water is a big problem there. People struggling to get water. Sanitation is a challenge there. Transportation is a challenge there. Getting food is a challenge. And so these are problems that people are complaining. You must not become part of the problem by also complaining, but you must become part of the solution by finding ways and means of matching solution to this particular problem. And once you are able to do that, you are in for business. There can be many problems in your locality or wherever that you find yourself. You may not have the resources, knowledge, and what it takes to be able to solve all of them. So list all the major problems that people are complaining about. You yourself is also complaining about. And among them, which one can you match your resources with? Pick one. And so, assuming that in your locality there's no water there, among all the problems, the one which is present, that people urgently need solution, water. So you just mark that particular one. The second one is that before you embark on any project, you must also understand the interests of other people. Sometimes you think that this is a major problem, but it may not be a major problem for many other people. So you need to do a little market research to find out from your patrons or customers if they indeed that is what they want. So if they are not interested, sometimes you may think that as for this particular one, once I'm able to provide it, people will love it and pay it. No, that is not it. Because there are many things that are competing for the limited income of consumers. And so consumers, as a rational economic beings, will always spend their limited resources on goods and services that give them maximum satisfaction. Ask yourself, the product and service, the product or service or the solution that I'm proposing, are they going to give the maximum satisfaction to my patrons? That's the question that you need to ask. And so once that question is well answered, so you find that among all the problems that you have selected water, and then coincidentally, that is also exactly what people want. Then you go ahead. The next point that you need to consider is that there can be many ways of solving that particular problem. You can have about 3 or 4 ways of solving that particular problem. So list all the possible problems, list all the possible solutions that you can have. Among all the solutions, which one of them is more effective? Which one of them is more economical? Which one of them will cost you minimum, will help you to maximize profit? So you might have many options, you choose one. Let's take, for instance, let's stick to water. Maybe you want to supply water to a community. Maybe there are 3 ways that you can supply it. The first one is that maybe you can drill a borehole, have a poly tank at the top to supply the water. That's one way. The second way is also that you can hire tankers to supply water so that we share among the people. These two, which one is possible? Which one will be easier? Which one will be cost effective? So once you are able to know the one which is effective among the cost effective among them, then you take advantage of that one. The last point is that once you've been able to know, you have identified a problem in the society, you have done your market research to know that people are genuinely interested in your solution. You've consulted many people to come out with the best solution or effective solution, and you've been able to have that solution. The next point is to mobilize the needed resources and begin to produce them. But you see, if we're a beginner and we're starting business, you must not build business that necessarily be your passion. Sometimes people want to build businesses around their passion because I love reading, I love writing, I love music, so I want to come out with music. Thousands of people have come out with music that could not do well in the market because that is their passion, but that is not what society is looking for. So if we're a beginner, if you have a choice to choose between profitable business and business that revolves around your passion, it is better to choose one which is profitable because you are there to solve a problem. So having said all this, let's ask ourselves, why is it still difficult for well-educated people, now I'm speaking to teachers, to come out with their own business? The one major challenge that many well-educated people have is that they always want to do business that comes with respect and dignity. There are many businesses that we call them dirty business. I mean, I'm well educated. Society respects me. So I cannot do this menial job, this dirty business. There's nothing like dirty when it comes to business. All we want as Christians is the business legitimate business. Yet the business may be legitimate as far as the company is concerned, but we also have our Christian principles. So any business any business that does not violate the rules of the country and our Christian principle is not a dirty business. So if you have a choice to choose between profitable business and the business that gives you respect and dignity, I will urge you to choose profitable business, because businesses that give you respect and dignity. Respect does not go to the market. Respect does not pay for school fees. Respect does not pay for wedding expenses. You cannot bequeath your respect and dignity to your children when you are dead. Proverbs 13:22 says that a good man is one who leaves inheritance for his children. Yes, dignity is good, respect and all those things, but these are not the inheritance God is talking about. So choose a profitable business. And you see, when you are doing it, people may consider it as menial. You are well educated, you are doing menial job. But when you continue to do it and become successful, people who were once looking down upon you for doing that job will now look up to you for support. You can use part of your profit to buy the respect and dignity that you want. It is said that a man in suit looked really successful until you found that he's working for men in t-shirt and jeans. So many people have not been to school before, but they have taken this so-called dirty business, they have run it successfully, and now they are employing doctors and professors and well-educated people to work for. So let's put the dignity and all those things aside and make sure that anything that comes to mind. What is wrong if you are a teacher and you have a barbering shop? You are not going to run the barbering shop. Somebody is going to do, you are going to partner somebody to do it. There are 1,000 things that you can do. If you want to sell fruits, how much money does it take for you to sell fruits? Maybe with just 1,000 cedis or 2,000, all you need is to get a vantage point where people can have access to your fruits. It's also a good business. You can run a salon business. You don't need to be a carpenter before you can provide furniture. You don't need to be a seamstress before you can produce school uniforms. So all you need to do is to have arrangement with people who are into carpentry, so that when you have a contract with somebody, you make arrangement and then you get a commission from whatever that you want. I will urge many people that sometimes it's a bit risky to start something entirely new. So you can take advantage of commission. You work for people, you get a commission. Maybe there's a painter, I'm into painting. I've seen that about 30% of our businesses come from people who do not have any business, any machines. They go and take the contract, they have arrangement with you, and then they take their profit. So let's take advantage of all these things. So let's assume that we've been able to establish our own, we've been able to identify a problem in society, and now we've done our research, we found a solution, and whether it is a data or whatever, all we want is profit. So we have firmly established our business. The business is supposed to grow. If you start the business and for a year or 2 or 3, the business is still where it is, then you are not doing anything. How can your business grow? One of the best ways that you can grow your business is through marketing, selling. And that's the challenge many people have. Many people hate selling because of fear of rejection. If you cannot sell yourself or your product, then you have no business being an entrepreneur. Then let somebody employ you. One of the easiest things to do is that when you are starting a business, how much the business is going to cost you in terms of the initial capital, in terms of rent, in terms of goods, in terms of all the things that you need, they are easy to determine them. But when it comes to people who buy from you, it's the patrons who will determine whether they will buy from you or not. So people are quick to look for resources to start a business. But when it comes to the sales depend on your patrons. And in business is equal to sales. Without sales, there's no business. Without sales, it is only when you have sales that you can decide whether you are breaking even or you are making profit. So don't think that, okay, I can establish my business and employ other people. You cannot be in business, you cannot depend on the goodwill of other people for your success. So make sure that Even though you have workers, your marketing team or whatever, sometimes if you depend solely on your marketing team and they do not bring the needed resource, the worst thing that you can do is to sack them. But when you sack them, they do not lose because they have not invested in it. But you, the business owner, you may have invested about 10,000, 100,000 into the business. If the business does not succeed, you are not only going to lose your investment, you may also have debt to pay. Your dignity is also at stake. So anytime you are going into business, spend some time to sharpen your selling skills. Sharpen your selling skills. One of the things that you can do is that there are two ways that you can increase your sales. One is to, when you start a business, you must aggressively look for as many customers as possible. You must aggressively look for as many customers as possible. And then when you get them, make sure that you are able to retain them. Sometimes people have a perfect human relationship, so they are able to get more customers. But when they get a customer, because of poor customer care, they are unable to take care of them. They have more customers, but they just live like that. When your customer is leaving you, they will not write application to you that you want to leave. They will just leave, will not hear from them. So it's like fetching water with leaking buckets. So make sure that you aggressively get as many customers as possible. When you get them, take good care of them, treat them the best way possible, and then you must also look for more. Assuming that you have 10 customers this year or 10 customers this month, do everything within your power. Use all the skills that you have to make sure that you retain them and get more customers. That is the only way your business can grow. Maybe the 10 customers are giving you 10,000 every month, and you are able to retain them. Then you work hard to get additional 10 customers. That will also give you another 10,000. So as long as you are adding on to your customer base, definitely your business will grow. But if you get 10 customers and then five leave, they are just left with 5, and then another one will come, they will leave. When this one happens, the business cannot expand. Another way to expand your business is good customer care. Good customer care. The most important or significant person in your business are your customers. Without your customers, you do not have any business. So you must, yes, the general manager is important, your machines, equipment, advert, all those things are important. But what is most extremely important are the customers. Without the customers, you do not have any business. So you must have a perfect relationship with your customers. Another thing that you need to consider is cash flow. When people start business and the money starts coming, they think that the money is for them. The money may not necessarily be for you. You may have many suppliers that are supplying you goods and services. You may have bankers who are giving you loan. You may also have business angels who have invested in your business. So when the money comes, make sure that you plow the money back into the business so that the business can be expanded. You can make profit so that the people that are owing you can pay your people who give you loans. You can do everything that you want to do. But we have certain people, when they sell, the profit on the product or services for a month may be thousands of cedis, but they may spend 2,000. Because you have taken loans and you have pumped them into the business, you may think that you are making so much money, but actually your profit will not be even up to 1,000. So if you spend more than the profit that you are making, what will happen is that you will deplete your capital, and in no time the business will collapse. So one of the best ways to expand your business is to make sure that you manage your cash flow well. You hardly take money from the system. And luckily for us, almost all of you are working. So you can depend solely on how much you are earning from government or your employer on monthly basis, and you allow your company to grow. I'm running a company. The name of my company, Bridge of Hope Limited. I hardly take money from that company. I rely solely on what I get from GRA. And whatever money that I get, I use it to expand the business, hoping that by the time that I go on retirement, the business will be big enough to take care of me, my family, and everything that I want. So when you are running a business, don't compete with the business. People compete the business. They invest 1,000 into the business, they take 2,000 away. Don't let us do that. And so when we are able to have perfect customer care, when we are able to have good cash flow management, and when we sharpen our selling skills, we should be in position to expand the business, expand it so well. We must also have succession plan. Our surviving family members must understand, must have better and deeper understanding of our business, all our major stakeholders, so that in the unlikely event that we are not there, we can successfully hand over to them so that they will continue. When you go to the advanced countries, certain businesses have survived over 5 generations. But unfortunately, when you come to Ghana, mostly people die with their businesses. When they die, the business also die because we don't have good succession plan. When we're able to put all these things together, we should be able to have something significant. So when we go on retirement, once it pays us, and we also get something reasonable for our business or investment, when we put these 2 or 3 together, we should have financial independence, not only for ourselves, but our children and generations unborn. It is our duty to do it, because if you fail to do it, your failure or success will not affect only you. It will affect your family, your children, and generations unborn. God expects us to make full use of the talent that He has given us so that we become profitable, not only to ourselves, but to our children, our family, generations unborn, and the society as a whole. May God richly bless you. Open your mind's eye to get better and deeper understanding of business. If for one or two reasons you do not know anything to do, go on your knees and ask God to open your eyes and discover things for you and help you to identify a unique opportunity that will be profitable to you and guide you to reach the ultimate. May God richly bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Elder. Shall we put our hands together for this wonderful presentation? Yeah. Elder has about 4 different books on the topic he has just shared. So I'll invite Mr. Takra to lead us through the questions.
Hello now. So if you have a question,
the request has been that we should ask
1 or 2 questions, then we move on.
Okay, so someone is asking, how do I identify a business opportunity? Can you please help us with that one? Someone is asking how he can identify a business opportunity.
Okay. I said that the purpose of doing business is to solve problems for society. When you are able to solve good problems for society, society will reward you either in kind or in cash. So how do you identify problems in society? You must be a good listener. Listen to radio station, you hear many people complaining about a particular problem in a particular environment. Watch television, you see the same. In your own environment, you may be in school, a particular school, people struggle to get food. You may be in a particular area of town where people struggle to get car to their destinations, okay? So as you become a good listener, you hear many problems, and then among all the problems that you've heard, which one of them can you match with your resources? So the starting point of identifying a business opportunity is to be a good listener and then listen to problems that people are talking about. Once you are able to identify one of these problems that hit society hard and you match them with your solution, you have a business. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think someone also wants to know if there are people who are just not made for business. It's like they don't have the potential for doing business. I don't know. Are there people like that?
Okay. Yes, in my presentation, I did say that if anyone who cannot sell yourself or any product or service, then you should work for somebody for the rest of your life. So the first quality of an entrepreneurship or a businessman is ability to sell. If you cannot sell and you want to depend on other people, I said that it is easy to determine how much money that you need to start a business. It's easy. And on countless occasions, people start business, just a year or two, the business collapses because they don't have the skills, they don't have the energy, they don't have the enthusiasm to run the business. So if you do not have selling skills, the starting point of becoming successful in business is to acquire learning skills. So selling skills. So now that you don't even have a business, make sure that you help people to sell their products. There are people who have many goods and services that they want to sell. They want hard and honest people to help them to distribute. So if you do not have skills in selling, it will be difficult. Yes, you may have money you can depend on people to do the selling for you. But if they are not able to shine, if they are not able to sell, what happened? For them, they will not lose anything. But you have not only lost your investment, but also your dignity. So it is not everybody. But once you have the skills in selling, you can be in business and you can do very well. But with God, nothing is simple. That is why when God gave talent to 3 people, 2 were able to put their own into use, 1 person did not. It doesn't mean that God created that person to be somebody who cannot use the skills. He was just lazy. So I think once you learn the skills, once you take interest in business, there's nothing that you cannot do. Even if you do not have that skills, when you go on your knees, God can help you to have that particular skills. So don't count yourself out that, as for me, I was not made to become businessman. No businessman was made. All of us will learn them on this earth.
Okay. 2 last questions. One is asking, is it advisable to invest in online e-commerce business? I don't know whether I should ask the second one. Okay, that one first. Is it advisable to invest in online e-commerce business?
I don't believe in online investment business because don't invest your money in anything that you don't have control about. Who is the regulator? Okay, people invested their money in many banks and the bank collapsed. Government being the regulator, government has paid all of them. Okay, if that business online collapses, who is the regulator for you to take responsibility? So anytime you want to invest your money, there's a Japanese proverb that says that when a man with money meets a man with experience, the man with experience goes with the money, and the man with money will go with experience. Okay, it has happened in Ghana recently. So any investment that you make, anytime you are partnering with money, you should be able to have a total control. You should know the regulator. That is not even enough. The shareholders, the board members, what is the integrity? What is their track record? What are they using my money for? Are they not risk lavish? Ask all these questions. But when you are doing on this online stuff, it will be difficult. It has turned to tears for many, many people who invested online. So I personally do not believe in those online. If it's online business for products, good. You deliver the product to me, I give your money to you. But give you your money, I'm investing it and give you this percentage. I don't believe in that.
Okay, the last question. Is it advisable to engage the services of family members in your business?
Yeah, generally, it doesn't help. Many people have lost their fortunes in life because of this issue. But sometimes too, it is not the name family that makes it become difficult. It's about the individual integrity. You know your family members. I have my family members. There are family members that I trust. There are others that I do not trust. Okay. So in general, when you are running business and you want to employ people to come in to help you, There are three things that you need to look for, whether the person is your family member or not. So if your family member qualifies, the person can be there. The first thing is that competence. How well is the person, how competent is the person is. If the person is competent for a particular position, it doesn't matter if it's your wife, your child, or what, a cousin, or if the person is competent, extremely competent, than outsiders, one. Number two is the zeal, enthusiasm, energy. That somebody may be competent, but he may not have the zeal, commitment, and energy for position that you are giving to that person. And so once the person is competent, the person has energy, the person has the zeal, passion, commitment to do that job. And the last one, which is most important among all of them, is integrity. Does the person have integrity? So it could be a family member, whoever that person is. One, the person is competent. One. Two, the person has zeal, commitment, energy, enthusiasm for the assignment that you want to give to him or her. And the last one, the person has integrity and will not take advantage of the system. Whether it's a family member or not, take the person. But in general, if you do not have capacity to assess the person in these three areas that I have mentioned, if we have option between outsider and then a family member, pick outsider. Because don't employ somebody that will be difficult for you to dismiss. Employ somebody that will be difficult for you, like your in-law, your mother-in-law. You have employed your mother-in-law to work with you. If you are dismissing your mother-in-law, then he's also taking her daughter or son from you. Okay, exchange is not robbery. So if it's going to be difficult for you, forget the family members, start with other people. When it becomes successful, then there are certain positions you can give to. But when you go to the banking sector, almost everyone working in the banking sector is connected to somebody. Because of this trust and integrity issue, most of them in the financial sector, most of the people working there, they know the board, they know this, they know this. So it is not totally wrong to employ a family member. Thank you.
Thank you very, 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 very much, Elder. I believe that all of us will agree that we've really been blessed. God richly bless you. Mr. Adakra, please, over to you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear